Hi everyone, welcome. This is Cindy with Tana Tarot. Today we are going to do a January forecast and messages for January 2022. So I have chosen one card out of each pile, and I thought, this is interesting. Let's choose the zodiac sign. And this may give you some type of clue whether this reading is for you or not. If none of the signs resonate, just pick them maybe based on their artwork or their beauty or, just whichever one calls to you. So for group number 1, we have Sagittarius. For group number 2, we have Cancer. And for group number 3, we have Capricorn. So that is fire, water, and earth. That may help you make your decision as well. So please go ahead and cogitate and meditate upon your cards, and I'll give you a second here, and I'll see you over on the other side. Hi, group number 1. This is group number 1, which was the Sagittarius card. Before I even start, I want to give props to Keynote Tarot. I was watching her January predictions and just loved her format. I'm using different cards, but she basically does a general overview, and then we'll have a few cards for love, work or studies, and then spiritual or personal growth. And I love that. I think that covers everything. So I'm giving her props, but I thought I would use that format as well today. So let's go ahead and start for group number 1. The first message that we have is from Spirit or the universe, and I don't need to read the whole thing, but I do want to go through it and give you the high points. So messages from Spirit for you, group number 1. It says, "Dear wonderful you, intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artifice or walls. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you'll know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to Spirit and to us." They just go on to say that there's amazing freedom from this and releasing the invisible bindings that maybe you or society or your parents have put upon you. So you are being encouraged to become vulnerable and be your true, authentic self in January. Turn off my buzzer there, except for that means it's the truth. And then, of course, we have the Sagittarius card. Now, what this can mean, a few things. One, you could be a Sagittarius. Someone important to you could be a Sagittarius. But also, Sagittarius is the archer, and they're shooting their arrow at their goal. So Sagittarians are action-oriented people. They are truthful and honest and authentic. And I see a correlation there. Sagittarians, unfortunately, I'm a Sagittarius, so I can say this. We can unfortunately be a little tactless and blunt sometimes. Definitely not on purpose. We would, rather poke our eye out than hurt someone on purpose. But unfortunately, sometimes the brain does not connect before the mouth opens. But it is, definitely, not anything on purpose or anything done to hurt people. But we're just really kind of, honest, innocent, optimistic souls. And we start out life that way, but I'm trying to end up that same way as well, but we'll see how that goes. We also have unraveling codependency, and it says, "Only I have to feel good about my choices." So in January, a message that you're getting is, do not be too reliant, dependent on other people's opinions of you, your choices, your lifestyle. And I think that also ties into here, letting someone know the real you. That doesn't just mean, wash the makeup off your face and tell a childhood story. It's having the guts to, if you're feeling like, bit bitchy one day, to just not, take it out on anyone, but you don't have to hide it. You can say, hey, I'm going to go in my room. I'm feeling really bitchy today. That is, very scary. You may feel like you need to maintain this, perfect positive persona all the time. Ooh, perfect positive persona. I like that. So being vulnerable and being authentic they're intertwined. And being vulnerable is the ability to not really give a rat's ass what someone else thinks. And that's what it's saying here as well. Only I have to feel good about my choices. So these are some messages for you in January. If this is not a realization that you have come to and that you're already working on, this is definitely something that you may want to take notes on and think about, because it will become more important for you to heed these messages and consider this advice in the month of January. We also have weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I like this. And it's tying in. So this is really a message that I can really get behind, because I feel, and I'll use an anecdote to explain this card, I feel a great responsibility to help people, family members, friends, even at work sometimes. I take on responsibilities that are not mine, whether it's financial, work, running errands, cooking, whatever it is. And I take these on because I feel this responsibility and this need to do these things to help others, when most times I've not even been asked to help or to loan money or to cook or to whatever. I'm offering. And Spirit is encouraging you to look at the loads that you carry. Are you over giving? Do you feel responsible for people, situations, things that you shouldn't because no one's asked you to? And this card is saying, create some boundaries for yourself. When you realize that you have this issue and you feel yourself getting ready to raise your hand and offer, do something. Snap a rubber band on your wrist, excuse yourself, step away for a moment, go look in the mirror and go, what the fuck are you doing? You're doing it again. No, be nice to yourself. Look in the mirror and say, sweetheart, you don't need to do this. Let them do their own thing. That's the language I use with myself sometimes. But create these boundaries. I will not offer money to family members who have not asked for it. Even if they ask for it, I won't be so free with my wallet. It is not my responsibility to do X because someone forgot to do something. Things like that. Create these boundaries. You would be amazed, and it's something that I've worked on for probably about a year now. I realized I was doing this, and I still have the tendency to want to do it, and I still do it, but I'm trying to build these boundaries higher and stronger. You would be amazed, though, the relief and the lightness you feel when you only are responsible for yourself, or you can consider helping others when asked, but you don't take on the weight of the world. And this is something that Spirit really wants you to look at and to consider. So we have also our angel card, Angel Therapy. Archangel Raphael, give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. So that's sweet, because here it's saying, weight of the world, let it go. It's not yours to carry. So what Spirit and what your spirit guides and your angels are telling you, they'll help you with this. When you see yourself doing this, when you find yourself doing this, again, do the rubber band thing, excuse yourself, go look in the mirror and go, stop, you're doing it again. And just know that your spirit guides, your angels, your, past family members, your ancestors, whoever it is that you relate with and that you feel, God, whether it's God, the universe, whatever you call it, give your cares to them. Tell them, please help me with establishing these boundaries and not taking responsibility for this, because after a while you start to resent the very people that you were trying to help and that you wanted to help, and it's not even their fault a lot of the time. Some of it is. There's a very codependent back and forth that can happen. People can learn to expect it, the help, and depend on you, and then get pissed off when you can't or won't help them. And so that's unraveling that. Like, I don't have to help you. I can help you if I want. And I know that sounds cold, but when you're an overgiver, man, it's really something that you have to look at. It's just not healthy. So do look at that, because you will come to resent the very person that you're trying to help, and it will become a pattern, and they'll get pissed off if you don't want to help anymore. And then last, for general messages for January, we have transformation, which is beautiful, because this tells me that you're already working on becoming more authentic and creating boundaries for yourself and being true to yourself, or that in January, this will come to the forefront. So this really is something that Spirit, these are messages from Spirit that they want you to know, and things that you would be really good for you to work on in January of the coming year. What a great way to start out the year is to work on your boundaries, and start out that way. Now, I'm going to pull the first 3 cards here. So for relationship, we have these cards. And then for career or studies, we have these cards. And then for spirituality, inner growth, whatever you want to call it, we have those 3 cards. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's start with love. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is a very strong woman, very solid, very hardworking. She has built a firm, solid foundation for her life, financially, physically, because Pentacles are an earth sign. It's a very physical, 3D, comfortable, solid, sustainable, long-term energy. So the Queen of Pentacles is the one that, you know, really has her shit together. She's solid. Now, she could possibly intimidate someone who maybe didn't have their act that much together, but we see you as the Queen of Pentacles, either, you know, having gained some level of this, or realizing that this is what is important to you, and this is a goal of yours. And, you know, so in love, someone's goal could be to van life, you know, to go with their significant other, jump in a van and go, you know, travel the country or the world. This is not your goal for this group. The goal, the love goal for the person in this group is a firm, solid foundation. For the month of January, with love, with your loved one, your significant other or potential significant other, you are being encouraged to choose your words carefully. Sometimes when we, you know, we'll go back up here, when we create boundaries and we strive to become more vulnerable and authentic, we can, I don't know, not lash out, but it, you know, people can be shocked, like, who the hell is this? You can be perceived as combative. I mean, you're going to be going through a lot of changes. So just realize this is your shit, and you are going to be working on your shit. And if someone is engaged in your shit with you, you are responsible for at least 50% of this shit. Okay? So remember, if you are in a relationship and it is a, you know, a loving relationship that you want to grow, just remember, a lot of, you know, if you come up with feelings of anger, resentment, that kind of thing, work through it before you open your mouth, basically. And that's what this is telling you. Plus, if you are a Sagittarius, please do that double. So what this is saying is that it's important to you to have a firm, solid foundation in your love relationships, and you're more of a homebody, and you want to have a comfortable, secure foundation. And when you make these changes and you start to work on this choose your words carefully with your loved one. But I will tell you, we did get the true love card. This is the romance of a lifetime. So what this is telling me is, for you, this relationship is definitely worth working on. This person is your true love. This person is in it for the long run. And this person is willing to work with you on your growth, your things that you need to do for yourself. They're in, you know, they're bought into it. Now, we have some interesting messages for your career. I see you becoming unhappy with the status quo. Now, we have the Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. This doesn't mean necessarily that something's going to happen to you, but what this tells me is that there comes a time that you'll come to a realization, and we're talking about January. So this may be something that's been bubbling up in your, you know, in the back of your mind, or even in the front of your mind. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's not It's not satisfying. It's not fulfilling. It's just really not what I want to do. I thought I wanted to do it, or I fell into it and I ended up doing it. I'm good at it, and maybe it pays decently, but it's just not what I want to do. And the reason I'm saying that you're good at it and that it pays decently is because this person is choosing to walk away from 8 upright, supposedly full cups. So this person has made a decision. This person is saying, I've built something that I cared about. See how the cups are on top of each other? So that's something that has been built. I put my heart and soul into it. At one time, I did care very much about it, but it is not fulfilling anymore. And it is, when you think about it, it's like, ugh. And that's the darkness that, looms on the horizon. You're like, I don't know if I can just keep on doing this, if I could keep on going in, or if I can keep on having to, do this job anymore. It's like sucking the soul out of me. And the message that we're getting from Spirit or the universe for the month of January is the word wants to be written. And again, we have the butterflies with the transformation. A lot is going to be transforming in January. And what this is saying is, whether it is an artistic endeavor, I always use this example, whether you became an accountant because you enjoyed math and you thought it was, a good solid thing to do, and you're working towards your CPA, and then you realize, I hate this shit. It's stressful at the end of every month, year end, please. It's not what I thought, or maybe it is, but it's not worth it. The stress and everything is just not worth it. What I want to do is I want to play music, or maybe I want to be a web designer. I want to use my creative skills. And so in this instance, it's saying the word wants to be written. And what that means is the song wants to be sung, the word wants to be written, the instrument wants to be played, the play, the actor wants to act in the play, whatever it is. But it does seem to me to be more creative and spiritual than what it is that you're doing now, creative and or spiritual. So, again, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, it can be on the far end, like a Reiki master, or a tarot reader, or, something like that. Or it could be, again, it could be music, art, a singer, an actor, or it could be a web designer. It could just be something where you're able to express your more artistic side. And I do see you coming to the decision to make a change, to do something, whether that is to go to school, to learn the new thing, or, whatever it is. But I see you coming to the decision in January that you don't want to do what you're doing anymore. And then on the self-improvement, spirituality, on that side, we have the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is all about tradition, higher learning, and we have the Chalice, rejuvenation and fulfillment. And then we also have straight up spirituality. And so I'm kind of tying this back to the career area here, in that it looks to me as if you do want to go down a more spiritual path. Not only just in your life do you want to learn more about spirituality, but you, I think that the job is going to go down some type of similar path. And I think in your day-to-day experience of life, going down this more spiritual path, you'll find it says rejuvenation and fulfillment. And that's what we talked about over here. You don't feel fulfilled. You have something good, something that you built up that you really cared or care about, but you're walking away from it because it's no longer fulfilling. And we see here that if we go down the more spiritual path, that you'll find more rejuvenation and fulfillment in life. And it's funny because the Hierophant, I take that more as traditional, like, I don't know, perhaps you want to study religions. Perhaps you want to trying to think of, I don't know, perhaps you even want to become a pastor or maybe a public speaker that shares your wisdom and knowledge. Maybe that's the problem here. You just don't feel fulfilled, that you're really sharing the inner you, what you feel like you really have something to give. And in this current job, you're just not giving it, and it's getting all bottled up inside of you. And so I'm looking at this as maybe an actual traditional, more religious undertaking, or something like a public speaker, inspirational speaker, that type of thing. But I do see I do see you in the future focusing more. Oops, sorry about that. I'm back. My dog sometimes has little breathing issues. She gets too excited and we have to calm her down. But I do see you in your personal life, for your personal fulfillment, going down a spiritual path that I'm just feeling is connected to the new career path or way that you make a living, the thing that you do to make a living, to afford to live. I'm seeing those two things connected. So those are basically the messages that Spirit has for you in January. Just a brief recap. I see you really working on yourself personally to become more authentic and more vulnerable, more open, to work on your overgiving and not take the weight of the world on yourself, and to create stronger boundaries, to know that your angels are with you, protecting you, helping you, guiding you. In love, I see a real solid relationship. I see this person really willing to be there for you while you work on these things, and excited for you, and like, hells yeah, you go, I got your back. In work, I see you making a good decision. It's like, it's not like, boom, something bad's going to happen and you're going to be, what's the word? I'm thinking expelled, but that's not the word. You're going to be evicted and blah, blah, blah. No, not at all. You're having maybe a dark night of the soul as far as your work goes, and you're making a decision to choose something that's much more fulfilling. And then spiritually, I just, with the chalice and the Hierophant, I do see spirituality or religion just becoming so much more important to you personally and in your work. So whatever that is, I'd be very interested in knowing. If you would like to leave a comment and let me know, I'd definitely read it and be very interested in hearing what you're going through. So this is what I have for you for messages and forecast for the month of January in our new year of 2022 that's going to be here in a minute. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. Take care and have a great day and the rest of the holiday season. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome. And this is group number 2 for the January messages and forecast. Before I start, I do want to give a shout out to Tana Tarot. I was watching her January predictions and I just loved her layout. Different cards, but she used like a general layout, and then she pulled a few cards for love. I think it was career, and then like personal growth, spirituality, that kind of thing. So I'm using that layout. I'm using different cards, and of course, but I really like that. So props to Tana Tarot for that. You may want to check her out. She's really, really good. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. So what these are messages, guidance from Spirit, the universe, God, whatever you call it, things to think about, look for, maybe some changes that you're being encouraged to make for the month of January in 2022. And let's start out with the messages from Spirit. It says, "Dearest you, let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside of your everyday, moment-to-moment experience, thinking you will find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing a magic it out there, but it never could be found there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy. And every time you wake up, and even when you sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside of you. Joy and happiness and fullness comes from doing joy, being joy, knowing it, cultivating it, and lighting it in your heart so that you can share it. You must know this so that when the time comes, you will be fully free, and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful, even for tears and loss, for they mean that you have lived, really lived. Jump into it all and love every minute." And then it's signed, "We all love you like crazy over here." So what this message is saying, we all do it. I'm going to be happy when. It's good to have goals. It's good to work towards things. But a lot of us think, I'll be happy when I get my degree. I'll be happy when I get that job. I'll be happy when I'm in a good relationship. I'll be happy when I'm married. And I could just go on and on. And it's like the attainment of the goals, you forget when you get there that you're supposed to be happy, that it's supposed to make you happy. Or that's what you thought. I mean, even the good things. I realize that I've attained some awesome goals, and I realize I don't even stop to acknowledge or celebrate. And I know some people who do, and I think it's a really good habit to get into, and that's one of my resolutions, is to work more on that, is to acknowledge my efforts more and to celebrate my successes and even my failures, because at least I tried. So I think what this is, the message that this is saying is, it's not going to come from it, joy and happiness. It's not going to happen when. It's a decision that you have to make. And there's some people who unknowingly make decisions to come from a place of lack, want, need, unhappiness, anger, jealousy, and they live their entire lives that way. So to be happy is not a goal to attain, but it's a decision to make. And we meet these people who made this decision unknowingly when they were kids, probably. They're just they're happy, they're always smiling. There's some people that the smile is covering up sadness, but we know there's been just happy freaking people that we meet and we're like, man, they're not a millionaire, they're not famous, they're not, they drive an old Toyota, old Honda, whatever, and they're just so freaking happy. What's their secret? Well, they just told you what the secret is. They made the decision to be happy. And to even acknowledge the failures or the losses, because they lived. They had something to lose. If you're so afraid to, take chances, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing lost, nothing done. I think that's beautiful. So it's a choice. Okay. We have the Cancer card. This could be you. It could be someone that you're interested in. It could be a family member. It could be someone who's passed that's watching over you that was a Cancer. In addition to that, Cancers are water signs. They're very emotional. They come from emotion. They are very nurturing. It's funny, I have a sister who's a Cancer, and it's, Cancer the crab. And I tell her, she's just so, acts so tough and everything. And I said, you've got that crusty crab exterior, but inside you're just like a marshmallow cream. And I've met some other Cancers that are kind of like that. They're just mush inside. Just emotional mush. They're so full of emotions and love. And maybe that's you. But you're so, scared to show the love and to open up. Maybe that's a decision that you need to make as well. And then we have Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. So there may be something that has recently happened, or there may be something that will happen in January. And Spirit wants you to know that you will be okay, and asking you to look at things differently, It says new solutions and beginnings. So if something has ended, maybe a relationship, maybe friendship, which is a relationship, but you know what I mean, maybe a romantic relationship, maybe a friendship, look for new solutions and beginnings. Whether it is a reconciliation with that person, or maybe it's time to cut bait. Maybe it's time to let someone go. I don't know. You'll know. But you will survive this, whatever is happening or has happened or will happen. And then we have integrating the ego. Everything is for me, not against me. And you know, I think that's beautiful, and it really ties in. You can decide that everything's for you. Even the losses, even the hurts. You can make that decision that everything is for you and not against you. Or as I said earlier, you can be one of those people, oh shit, nothing good ever happens to me. Can I catch a break? How did they get that job? How did they do that? How did they get that girl? What secret do they know? They're married and have 4 kids and have a good job and a nice house. Why can't that happen to me? They don't know. They made a decision in their head from past experiences that the universe, the world, whatever, everybody was against them. But it isn't. And this is a message for you. Make the decision to be joy, to come from joy, because it's inside of you. No matter what negative thing may occur, no matter what loss you may experience or ending, know that it's not against you, it's for you. And you know, maybe let's use an example. Maybe it's the end of a relationship. I love this saying, rejection is God's protection. And sometimes it's hard to realize that when you're in the thick of it. I'll use a quick story. There was, when I first became a contractor, there was this one company I wanted to work out so bad, and I would drive by and I'd see it's a big building and the sign on the top of the building, and I'd be like, oh man, I'd love to work there. You know, very common, well-known name. And I'd apply and didn't even get a phone call or whatever. And I did. I went on. I did another contract for a year or whatever. And, you know, a couple times I applied. Finally, I want to say probably like the 3rd or 4th time I applied, I got an interview and I was like, ooh. And I went and interviewed, and the lady was so nice. And I was like, oh, see, I knew that this was really meant for me, and I really wanted it. And I was there, let's say 6 weeks, when the VP, I want to say, of the group retired. A new VP came in, brought all her own people, and it was a virtual bloodbath. I had only been there a month and a half, and it was me. It was a bunch more. It was people who had been there 15 years, 10 years, 7 years. And they tried to let them go, like, with cause, like find something wrong, make something wrong to fire them so that they didn't have to give them severance. It was horrific. It was one of the worst experiences I have ever gone through. And looking back, I see the universe going, no, Cindy, you don't want to go there. No, Cindy, you don't want to go there. No, Cindy. All right, Cindy, go ahead. You go. And I went, and it was horrible. And so sometimes not getting something that you want is the best thing that could ever happen. So, little message there. We also have the fertility card. Now, we can take this literally, and perhaps there is a pregnancy happening, or perhaps you or your significant other or someone close to you is trying to get pregnant, and there's fertility issues. So we can take it literally like that. Also, another way that we can look at it is like a fertile mind, a very imaginative person, a very visual person. And so this can say, you know, perhaps you can find joy in either having a child, or, you know, being around a child, or, you know, something more literal associated with fertility, or B, expressing yourself through your creativeness, your imagination. So this is also a message for you in January. And then for the last card of the general message, we have from Archangel Michael, you are safe. Archangel Michael says, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. And Archangel Michael is, he's my archangel. I have him here. I have one over my bed as well. And so what Spirit is telling you, what the universe is telling you, is that you are protected. You are loved. And your home, your loved ones, everything, Archangel Michael is guarding you. So you'll survive this. Look for new solutions and beginnings. You'll survive this. You're being protected and guarded and watched over. So these are the general messages for January of 2022. Now let's look at, first we're going to lay some cards for love. Then work, career, you know, bread and butter. And then spirituality, personal growth. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with love. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is about cycles. It's about beginnings and ends, beginnings and ends. So we have the hand of God or the universe or Spirit turning the wheel. So it's kind of like a fate thing, maybe. We have a person falling off. We only see their feet askew as they're falling off. So this card can mean a couple things. It can mean an old cycle is closing out and a new cycle is beginning, and this is in love. Or it can mean that in your life you have created a pattern of some type of unsatisfying experiences with relationships. Maybe you felt love is against me. I don't know the secret. Some people who have happy relationships have some type of secret that they know that I don't know. And every time you try, you know, it hasn't worked out. And it says you'll survive this. New solutions, new beginnings. This is about the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new. And if it is a pattern, Spirit is encouraging you to look at that, learn from it, figure out how to make that joyful. I'll give you a clue. Google codependency and boundaries. There you go. But Spirit is encouraging you to either begin a new cycle or end a repetitive cycle. Figure out why you're doing it and end it. So you can have a new beginning, a new solution, a new beginning. We have your secrets are safe. And then we have financial issues are a factor in your love life right now, which is crazy because this is all about your finances. But for some reason, something's going on in your relationships where finance it has become a factor. I'm thinking of a couple of scenarios. Only you will really know. But one, I see you having a pattern of fulfilling yourself with shopping, and it could be it could be like a stress on the relationship, and it can cause issues with a relationship and endings of a relationship. I can see also another scenario is you being in a relationship and over giving, and that person becomes dependent on you for money, and you're like, whoa, hold on here, this is not fair and equal. I wanted to help you because you needed help, but I didn't plan on becoming your personal ATM. So, you know, there's quite a few ways that finances and career, but there's quite a few ways that financial issues could be a factor in your love life. Perhaps someone has lost a job. Temporary setback, but perhaps someone has lost a job and is putting a lot of stress on the relationship. And I'm looking at your secrets are safe. And it says here, you are safe. Everything is for you. Look for new beginnings. I'm just looking at your secrets are safe as you go ahead and do you. Everybody doesn't need to know. It's not saying necessarily keep secrets, but if you do have a spending problem, or if your spouse has, or significant other has lost their job, maybe due to, their own fault or something that they did, everybody doesn't need to know. You don't need to broadcast it. You can work on your issues, and you guys can work on your issues quietly and together. But definitely finances are involved, and you are being guided to start a new cycle. And if you have a repetitive cycle, you're being advised to see that, acknowledge it, and break that cycle. And so that's for love. Not all rainbows and flowers and sunshine. So for career and finance, we have the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is working on mastering something. It's that you have planted the seeds, and the seeds have grown and borne fruit, and they are the fruits of your labor. It shows a high level of dedication, putting in a lot of effort. We also have the Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. So this is also, that's a fate card, and this is a fate card. Fate is something that is just fated to happen in your life. I believe in fate and destiny. Fate is something that's just going to happen, and you have no control over it. Destiny is when you're standing at a path, and you have like 2 ways or 3 ways or 10 ways you can go, and you make a choice and you choose your destiny that way. So it looks like something is going to occur, and I would liken this maybe to the Tower in the tarot. But now the Tower, everyone looks at it, ooh, it looks so foreboding and people are falling. But the Tower is the breaking down of something that was built on a shaky foundation. It's something that is not sustainable. It's something that cannot continue and should not continue. And so the Tower is the breaking down of something to build up something new and stronger. So I see in your career, your studies, something happens. But then also we have after the storm. And so this act of fate is a rejuvenation of your career after the storm. So you are safe, you're protected, look for new beginnings. If something, negative or out of your control does happen in your career or studies, something to do with that, you are safe. Don't worry, because this is after the storm. Prosperous. You'll be fine. There'll be something new and fresh. You'll be even wiser, and the sun will rise after the storm because you've put your work into it. So look for, be aware that something may occur in January, but also be aware that you are safe and you are protected, and that this will turn out to be actually even better for you. And then as far as spirituality or self-growth, you are being advised in the month of January to watch out for jealousy. Whether it is someone that is jealous of you and may try and do something to thwart, a relationship, a job, a lifestyle, someone that's just jealous and maybe might say something to other people like, well, how did she get it? How did he get it? Stuff like that. Or it even could be, so, watch for that. Someone in your circle may not have your best interest at heart. But also it may be something in yourself. Maybe you do need to work on coming from joy. Maybe you do feel like things are against you. And jealousy, it may be an emotion that you need to deal with. And so look at that. And what is jealousy? Jealousy is, a feeling of lack, a feeling that someone has something that you want or you deserve, and why do they have it and you don't? And I think we talked about that enough up here. You need to make the decision that you are worth it and you can have it. And be happy for the person that does. So you may need to work on jealousy or be aware of jealousy. The High Priestess is all about knowing and intuition and sitting back. It's about being. So you're being encouraged to have self-discipline with your emotions and begin to trust your intuition. Trust what your heart is telling you, your gut is telling you. Work on becoming a person that knows that everything is working for you and not against you. It's going to take self-discipline. I've been working for years on it, and I still hear me talking to myself in a negative way, and I'm like, hey, be nicer to yourself. And sometimes I answer myself, and it's weird. But so be nicer to yourself, but do know that you are being watched over and you are safe. So these are just some messages, some things for you to look out for in January, to be aware of. Very, some things may be, going down in relationships and in the job, but I see everything really actually turning out better. And just know that everything is for you. It's not happening to you. It's not happening against you. Learn to find the joy. Make the decision to come from there. So that's all I have for you, group number 2. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please have a rest of, the next few days. Have a good holiday season for the rest of it for 2021. And I'll see you on the next reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. Hi, group number 3. You are group number 3 in the January messages and forecast for January of 2022, which is almost upon us. So first, I want to give a quick shout out to Kino Tarot for this spread. I was watching. I have quite a few really favorite tarot readers that I watch, for myself, but also to see what other people are doing. And I love this spread of hers. So we have the general information up here. Then we have a few cards for romance, a few cards for career, education, and then we have a few for spirituality, self-growth, that kind of thing. So anyway, shout out to Kino Tarot. You might want to check her out. She is really awesome. I just love watching her. So let us go ahead and get started with the general portion of the reading. So what I have here is a card from Spirit, and it is a message specific to you in this reading. And so it says, Dear you, there is a balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you are faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is surrender and non-resistance. Soon enough, you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life. Go with the flow, and in no time you'll reach what you have your heart and hopes set on. Just remember, Spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents. When it's time for a greater effort, you'll know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow cycles of your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we're right there with you with our little umbrella drinks. Love that. Oh, I got chills, smiling at your success. Love you so very much. So what this is saying is, in life, there comes a time when you'll realize there will come times when you realize that not, what do they used to call it? You can't fight City Hall. Not banging your head against a wall is the best course of action. Sometimes the best course of action is no action. And I think as Americans and Westerners, we're taught, do something, take an action, fix it, make it better. We're taught that. And it's very hard sometimes to sit back and let something unfold. We feel a responsibility to jump in and make something happen, make something different, fix it. But you're being encouraged to learn the difference between the times when it's best to sit back and when it is good to, what do they say, work those manifesting muscles, when it is time to take action. It's the yin and the yang. The yin, the time, the feminine energy, the time to sit back and let things occur, and the yang, the action time, the time to take action and make things happen. So you're being asked to look into that. What this tells me is perhaps you may have a control issue, or maybe you think that, or maybe a responsibility issue. Maybe you're carrying too heavy of a load and you think that, you're responsible for everything, and, family, friends, work, whatever, and you feel like when, you just need to take action all the time. You need to own everything. And this is saying you don't need to own everything. Sit back. Sometimes it's best to just let things happen. So think about that. Now, the astrological sign that we pulled is the sign of Capricorn. It is an earth sign. Earth signs are very well known for being the slowest moving element in the bunch. So very methodical, analytical. Think things through, no brash action, very slow to move, very slow to make a decision. Also very, I think because of that, also very stable, solid. Anything that a Capricorn creates will be enduring. They won't just have an emergency fund. They'll have an emergency fund and, college funds for all the kids. They'll have their mortgage paid off early, and they'll have a tax fund. Just they plan ahead for sustainability and security. And that is what an earth sign, and specifically a Capricorn, is all about. Now, you may be a Capricorn person that you're interested in, or a family member may be a Capricorn, or just this energy of slower moving, analytical. You may be encouraged to take on these characteristics, I guess, maybe, is that the word? You're being encouraged to act more like that. Then we have hearing inner guidance. My intuition flows whenever I am still. Okay, what did we just talk about? Rest, activity and rest, ebb and flow. So you are being encouraged to find more times of stillness. Move slower. Or is it move more slowly? I don't know. But slow down. Listen to yourself. Maybe if you don't know how to meditate, which I have a hell of a time with, do some guided meditations on YouTube or wherever. We have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything that is unaligned must go. So lifting the veil, to me, is like taking off the mask, lifting up the rock, you are being encouraged to look at the truth of things within yourself. So you're being encouraged to be still, to do some inner healing work, and to look at what is working and what is not working in your life. And anything that's unaligned must go. And what that means is when you have your groundwork laid and you know the path that you want to go down, you know what you stand for. If there's anything in your life that is not aligned with that, say it could be a relationship, say it could be, a boyfriend, say, or a girlfriend, say you're going to school, you want to do a certain thing, you have your emergency fund, you have your college fund, and maybe you have a person saying, well, just take part of that and let's go for a week to, Vegas or Atlantic City, or hell, let's take half of it and let's go to Europe. Come on, live a little bit. Well, is living a little bit bad? No. But is it something that you want to do right now? I don't think so. I think you're being encouraged to be still and stand up for yourself. So if anyone or anything in your life is not aligned with your purpose, you're being encouraged to let it go. And that could even be purging of belongings, clothing. Perhaps you're doing a reassessment of your life and you see that you have gathered around you things that are no longer necessary and they're just making you feel heavy. So look into that. Questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Maybe make a note of that. What does that mean? It may become clear to you in January. Then we have commitment. I will say that earth signs are one probably of the most loyal and committed elements in relationships. They'll take a long time to get in them, and they'll also take a hell of a long time to get out of them. They'll work like hell to make it work, even past what would be expected. But when an earth sign makes a commitment, they really do make a commitment. And so that's one way we can look at that, commitment to a relationship, but also commitment to themselves, to their growth, to their stability. Earth signs are very committed to creating that kind of a lifestyle. So commitment is a very good word for an earth sign. And then we have gifts from God. Archangel Sandalphon. We angels bring you gifts from your Creator. Open your arms to receive. So gifts from God. Would that be a car? Would it be a house? Would it be a diamond? I don't know. It could be. But I would think gifts from God, gifts from your Creator, would be the ability to be happy, to experience joy, opportunity for love. And it could be, when you experience joy and you experience love and you have self-love, that's when the 3D abundance can come in as well. But expect some gifts. Open your arms to receive. We could take this so many ways. In January, look for some blessings because they're coming. What kind of gifts God gives, I'm not sure. You'll find out. But be ready and recognize these gifts and open your arms to receive them. That sounds exciting. Okay, so all in all, look inside, question everything, look outside, lift the veil, look at the truth. See the truth. Be still. Be still. I think this is just a confirmation card. Capricorn, Earth, commitment. And look for some gifts from God. Put a note in the comments. I'd like to know what kind of gifts those are. I'm excited for you. Okay, let's go ahead and look down here at our love, career, and self-improvement, spirituality areas. Let's start with love. So we have the Six of Cups. We have hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. And then we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Now, I find this super interesting and sweet and beautiful because the Six of Cups is a childlike, sweet, innocent love. This could be the love that you shared with someone many moons ago, or depending on how old you are, but as a, maybe even a young teenager, maybe high school, maybe college, whenever it was, it's got like the first love vibe, when love didn't hurt, when love was new and sweet and beautiful. And so it could be that. It also can be love that is so enduring that it's from a past life. That the love that you are going to have, or maybe just now experiencing, is from someone that you knew from a past life, and it's like a recognition. Like when you met this person, you knew them already. I see that in your life, fate has blocked love for you. I see that you have had a few unsuccessful, I guess that's the word I'll use, relationships. Although to me, all relationships are lessons. But being a Capricorn, you're like peacocks or penguins or who else mates for life. You guys, all you really want is that one person to grow old with. And if you thought enough of someone to enter into a relationship or a marriage with them and it didn't work out, Capricorn is one sign that would be a super big deal for. Maybe, water sign would also be very affected that way. Maybe a fire sign and an air sign might be able to let go easier or understand when things fizzled out, or whatever. But with Capricorn, with an earth sign, it takes them a long time to get in. And your path was blocked, the path of true, sweet love, for a while. But what we see is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So, whether this is someone that you had an actual, real 3D relationship with, you knew them maybe in high school, then maybe you went on to try and have a few relationships, but it didn't work. It's because this person was either meant to come back from your childhood or your past, or you were meant to meet this person that you guys made the agreement in the past life that you would reconcile. So, in January, you will either be contacted by someone that you knew in the 3D when you were younger, when love was sweet, or you will meet someone new, and it will be a, soulmate reconciliation. And this will be the unblocking, because you were being saved. Oh my God, there's the gift from God. I just got chills. There's the gift from God right there. There may be more. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So watch for that in January. And sometimes I say to people, if you're invited out, go out, blah, 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 this and that. Yeah. But this, if you never go out, this is going to be your UPS guy. What I mean by that is this person's going to come to your house. That sounds kind of creepy, but this person will find you. Have no fear, because this is fated. This is meant to be. So I don't know exactly what will happen in January, if you will actually meet, but something's going to go down, and he or she is on their way. So there you go. Now, let's look at career. We have the Knight of Pentacles, again, earth sign. Knight, movement towards stability, movement towards money, movement towards a solid foundation. And then we have a barrier keeps you from your goal, and legacy of light. And so what I think for with career, it ties back up here. I see you beating your head against the wall, taking actions towards what you think is important as far as, your goal as far as finances, career. I see this as being the time when you're thwarted so many times. Get the message. Sit back. Let something happen. And I see with the legacy of light that what is it? Rejection is God's protection. I think the reason there's been this barrier that keeps you from your goal is that you weren't meant to go here. That God, universe, your angels, your guides, your spirit guides, they have a larger, different mission for you. And if you have anything in your family that has been passed down, look at that. Or if you feel affinity to any kind of light work, whether it be counseling, Reiki, even tarot. I feel like a light worker as a tarot reader, because I try and bring, I try and help people, open their eyes, see things differently, that type of thing. I try my hardest to help people open their eyes, maybe make decisions, maybe look at things differently. So I think Spirit and God want you to go down a different path. And if you have felt thwarted in your pursuit, say you went and you got the degree and you've been applying and applying and applying, you're like, son of a, what do I have to do? I got the freaking degree and now they want 5 years of experience? What? There may be another path that's meant for you. And in January, you may find out what that is. I think you will. I think you'll start to see. At least know that it's not because you're not good that you have this barrier. It's not anything that you are doing wrong. It's a time maybe to sit back and let things happen. Or just not feel the frustration because it's not your fault. There's bigger things at work in the background. Okay. And then for spirituality, self-growth, we have the Two of Pentacles, we have love and prosperity, and we have self-love, which this is just beautiful. So I see the Two of Pentacles being either needing to make a decision or juggling two different things. And I'm thinking that it may relate here to the career. Maybe you got the degree in what you thought you should because your family told you, and it's a good way to make money, and it's solid, and it's safe, and it's stable. But this is kind of what you've always wanted. It's kind of in the background. And so you've been kind of back and forth juggling. You got the degree in this, but you've been reading up on this and doing research. So to do what everyone tells you you should do, or to do what you love and what you want to do, that's the question. I see you having, a hard time with that, especially being, if you are the earth sign, or if you're with an earth sign, stability and solidness and security is everything. But that doesn't mean you couldn't have that with your other thing. Just because everyone tells you this is the thing doesn't necessarily mean that's the only way. And then we have love and prosperity and self-love. So I think with self-growth and spirituality, you're being encouraged to, take into consideration what people are telling you if you know they have your best interests at heart, of course. But love yourself enough to trust your intuition, because you are getting gifts, and they may be messages as well. Could be a love partner, and it could be a message. Do what you love, and prosperity will come. And then you'll really have self-love. You'll really be happy. And the more you are true to yourself, and the more happy you are, the more you have to give. So this is what I have for you for January, group number 3. Please do enjoy the rest of the holiday season in 2021. And look for some beautiful gifts from God in January, from Spirit, from your angels. So excited for you. Thanks for spending this time with me. Bye-bye.